Kalle Sauerland. Victory for Chris Eubank Jr tonight. Give us your immediate reaction.
It's a fantastic night in terms of getting the rounds in terms of working on the things he's been working on with Roy over the last year and a half. So every box ticked. We said at the beginning of the year it was all about that comeback fight. I think Morrison, credit to Morrison, true fighter. I think Joe wanted to pull him out at the end of the 6th round. In fact, he was going to pull him out, and I think Morrison managed to convince him not to. And then he had a real fighting spirit, which made it an enjoyable fight to watch. But we have to look a little bit egotistically from our side. It was all about getting the rounds in, and it was perfect. And it was great matchmaking by a matchmaker. And I think Morrison will go on and have some very good fights because he's got a massive heart and he's a talented kid. For Eubank, tonight was priceless. It was priceless. If we would have taken an opponent who would have fallen over in a round or two, absolutely done nothing for him, sets up the big second half of 2021 that we've always talked about. Don't forget we only signed him a couple of months ago. So it's going exactly to plan.
I want to talk about the 2021 in just a moment. Could you see any of Roy Jones' work in there in the ring with him tonight?
I saw on the low jab. It was, I said to Roy when we came to the ring, I saw some new but old things in there. There was definitely some of the old Roy Jones, the shoulder drop, the jab. Lovely to see. Who was not a big Roy Jones Jr. fan? He's the best jab on planet Earth. In fact, one of the best jabs in the game ever. And he was moving in and out. Morrison, I thought, also could fight more back foot, especially in the early rounds. It was difficult. But when Chris wanted to find range, he found that range quick. So you can see that the partnership between them really works. As I call them, the dynamic duo.
Maybe the dynamic trio. We saw the three of you standing together just a moment ago, yourself, Roy and Chris. The new team is here to take over. It certainly felt like that tonight.
Yeah, it was very nice. And of course, we were a big team, me and my brother, and we were a big team at Wasserman Boxing. So it's all a big team effort, and everyone has their part. And but Roy is, let's say, such a special addition to the team, which is fantastic. It feels great.
Talk to us then about plans for Chris in 2021. What comes next? How long do we think he's going to be out for? Do we expect to see him back soon? Any names?
I think if he had his way, he'd be fighting next weekend. But realistically, the big fights take a while to set up. But they're there to be made. Golovkin hasn't got an opponent. Andrade doesn't have an opponent. See what happens next weekend. Fantastic fight that with Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo, despite their animosity. I have a sneaky feeling about Billy Joe. He looks in fantastic shape, but it's exciting. And then you've got to look at the likes of Murata, the local fights with Kell Brook we've talked about. There's a lot of names knocking around there. So there's not a shortage of great fights to make, and there's not a shortage of interest. So, there's all going well. It will be two fights, two big fights this year.
Kalle, congratulations tonight.
Thank you very much.